Hello, everybody, and welcome to POAP Community Call number 12 on this March 30th, 2022. For me, outside it's a little windy, probably going to storm. Same for Logic Peach as well. But I'm still cozy inside, and I hope you are too. I am Mr. Mojo. I'm from Eve Staker, and I am a POAP enthusiast. Also super excited to host, as always. And somebody that's returning for the first time in what is forever. Show number 5 was his last appearance. Let's give it up for Colfax.
Yo, yo, good to see everybody here tonight.
Awesome. And pardon me, another host that is always reoccurring, Defi Dude. Say hello.
Hey everyone, happy to be here, as always.
And returning for his second time as a host, but always welcome as a guest, Logic Beach. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, the storm's about to throw down outside, but hopefully this call will be wrapped up before then so I can go sit on my porch and watch it. Good to be here.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. Sitting on my porch would be in the rain. And then also showing up for her second time as host, JENetics. Say hello.
GM, if it's morning in your part of the world, or good evening.
Yes.
I don't know if we say that in the DeFi world, but yeah.
And it looks like we have a reoccurring guest that just popped up here. Hello, Dr. Malachi. Good to see you. I wasn't expecting you, but always nice to have you pop up.
Hey, glad to be here. Honored to be here. This is fun every week.
Dude, I'm right there with you. But okay, everybody, of course, we are in the Community Calls channel. If you want to talk to us during the show, or if you want to go ahead to this link right here, this is our Slido. In there, you can go, you can ask questions to us, you can upvote other ones, and we try to hit them during the show, especially if we have a little bit of downtime in between some topics. Please, we would like for you to go there and participate in the show. But we want to go ahead. I'm going to hand it off to Colfax really quick. He's going to describe the DGen bot and how you earn a POAP from this show.
Sounds great. So POAPs. So we're using the DGen bot as usual tonight. What you need to do is you need to be here in the audience and you need to be paying attention and listening. We do not distribute POAPs to folks who have this call muted because we want to engage with people that are paying attention and whatnot. And I think you need to be on the call for some period of time. I don't know how much, but if you're here for the whole call, you'll definitely get your POAP at the end. But if there's an issue, as Superfizz always mentions, we do not control the DGen bot. The DGen bot sort of decides based on certain parameters who gets POAPs, and it's usually pretty straightforward. But if there's an issue, we're doing our best, so please be forgiving. And yeah, we're excited to get you guys POAPs. So listen to the call, and at the end, you can go to the claim channel. Let's see, what's the exact name of that channel?
It's POAP claim. Mm-hmm.
And then you can run the command /POAP claim. I see some people running commands now. They don't do anything just yet, so you don't need to worry about sending anything now. But at the end of the call, you'll be able to claim your POAP.
Yes,
and it is beautiful.
And we will happily describe that process when we get there. But
perfect.
But thank you, Colfax, for describing how DGenBot works. But all right, we're going to go ahead and start getting to the real meat of our show. So one thing that I want us to talk about is some updates on POAP and how POAP is basically being used around the world, I guess you could say. So we have a few things that I'm going to highlight. This is coming from This is POAP newsletter that comes out every single Tuesday. So if you want to go ahead and take a look at that, I posted it in the Community Calls channel, again, where we always talk about things for this call. But I'm going to go ahead. Let's start with the first thing I wrote on the agenda. So there was a Sports Pro article about the South by Southwest. Oh goodness, if I can remember, it's like a place where people can go. Oh goodness, I'm already forgetting what this thing is about. I'm sorry, everybody.
South by Southwest is an Austin musical festival, which has been taken over by NFTs this year.
Yes, thank you so much for picking me up right there, Jen. But anyway, so
as an Austinite, I better remember what it is.
Right? Saying yeah, and as a Tennessean, I had to remember Bonnaroo. But anyway, thanks for picking me up on that one. So there was a lot of use of NFTs at this event, especially POAP, the one that I want to highlight. So Fox, yes, that Fox, the news media outlet, they do, Fox News, and they also have Fox Sports and everything. They were there, and their partnership with WWE, they actually have a POAP with WWE, and WWE plans to actually use that to give follow-up content from that event. And I actually think that that's sort of interesting that a big entity like the largest wrestling promotion in the world is like, okay, hey, like we have to get on this technology, and we're going to try to use it in a way that I think it should be used, which is as a small continuation of the event that you attended. So right now, how POAPs are used is, of course, as proof that you attended something, but for the most part, you just get the POAP and it's in your gallery, and that's it. But these teams, like Fox's Blockchain Creative Lab, they're trying to really push forward things that POAPs can be used for, like giving that follow-up content. I'm unsure what WWE plans for this, but, they are people that are really good at things like this, so hopefully it'll be cool. Is there anything else anybody wants to say about the event? That's really the only highlight that I had from it.
I got a different, just another major national event that might be kind of cool.
Sure,
with
go ahead.
POAP. And again, just let me go into the religious space just a second. The National Day of Prayer, which is always the first Thursday in May by government proclamation. I'm on that team, and we are creating a POAP for the national broadcast. And we're going to think of some ways to do it because we usually have millions of people tune in on radio, on the channels that it's dispersed on, and the influencers we have, and the partnerships with different organizations. So just keep it known that it'll be the first one ever in that history, and it's coming first Thursday in May. So I might need some help from you guys to make sure I do it right, but that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's actually something that's interesting that you bring up. You talk about all these ways that people are going to participate in the event, and we really don't have a method to give people a POAP in that way. Like, for example, for us, yeah, we're kind of like a radio show, air quote there, but we have a distribution method for our POAP. Something like being able to do the National Day of Prayer, you said. I do apologize, I'm not into things like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Like being able to put it out through, finding a distribution method for that is going to be kind of challenging. Have you had any ideas already about what you want to do?
We have a partner with a major app, pray.com, and it might be if we funnel the broadcast through there and we can track it, though it's not farmed out. I'm open to any ideas, but I just know there will be millions of people tuning in from different channels, and I am curious what would be a good process for that. And this is the one day a year. It's a national proclamation. Both parties are involved. I mean, it's just been part of our national fabric for 75 plus years. So any ideas? Because this will be the largest attempt at a drop that I'm going to try to help partner with. And actually, I've been asked to task getting it to ready for that day. So I'm open to all ideas.
That's a really cool idea. Yeah. Tracking it like through an app or something. The big thing for us in POAP drops is like the Sybil resistance mechanism, or like how do you prevent them from getting farmed? And so if you do it with an app, that could be interesting. I don't have any great ideas though. We should definitely think about this in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use a secret word is all I can say.
What's the worst that could happen if we did that?
Well, for example, POAPathon used a secret word. We minted out 400 POAPs, had 120 people listening. Within 30 seconds, all 400 POAPs were gone. So 120 people listening, 400 POAPs were gone in 30 seconds.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know. Those bot farmers, man.
Annoying, but impressive.
They want those POAPs bad.
Yeah, and there was, for about 45 minutes post-show was much rage in the POAPathon community.
No doubt.
No doubt. But all right, so you can go ahead, Dr. Malachi. You're going to say something.
No, again, I like the like the global expansion of this WWE from all spheres. I think that's amazing, since the few months where you guys have done really good to try to eliminate POAP farming, I think the quality of POAP drops has gone up. I think it did bring a level of excellence to it all, even though I was one of the ones really trying to use it for engagement. So I think it's having a good effect. It's just, it can't prevent everything, like what just happened with POAP-a-thon. But I actually think this only forces us to ideate and get better. So those are good things to learn from. So yeah, I'm excited. I just love being on here and sharing those things with you guys. And maybe as it gets closer, all ideas are welcome.
I just wanted to mention that the people at the front line of POAP are the curators, and they are really sort of what you don't see, but like when you only start to see really high quality drops, it's because of them. I've been watching this from across the room, watching Brits and Heath just talk about these things, and they get tons and tons of petitions for POAPs, and they're the front line. They're going through them, and they're just making sure that everyone adheres to the ethos of POAP and just does a good job with distribution. So if you've noticed that distributions from POAP or from people with POAP have gotten better over the past few months, it's true. They really have just gotten better because of the resources that POAP has put in place to make that the case. It's pretty cool to see. I've been seeing it from the other side, because I've always been somebody that did like events or puzzles and stuff and put POAPs out. It's so cool to see the behind the scenes. I gotta say, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you're able to get that firsthand look.
Yeah.
But okay. So something else that I want to talk about. Now, I've mentioned this before just on the off chance somebody asking me what I think NFTs and POAPs could be used for. So there's this article by the Soul Supplier, and they were talking about how movie theaters could actually use NFTs. And the example that they gave was actually using POAPs, using them to prove that you had physically went to the movie theater to see a movie. And some of the things that they said these POAPs could be used for would be perks like allowing you to have early access to any sequels that are made in that movie franchise, or maybe if you're a constant moviegoer to that theater, you'll get special perks, like maybe you can go see a movie early because you happen to have X amount of POAPs from their theater or something like that. I know that Regal Cinemas, they attempted to do something similar. I forget what it was called. It was like some sort of like crown thing where if you went to go see a movie, you got a special crown in a design of the movie. So this was around whenever COVID restrictions were lightening up last year. They started this program, but the technology was really bad, almost never worked. It was so hard to see them and do anything with them, and they really had no use besides just something that was really clunky and didn't work. But
these were NFTs, right?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
these crowns that they were giving were a service that they were providing. They were not blockchain technology. However,
it sounds familiar. I remember something about it.
This is a great opportunity for blockchain technology to shine, because this is what POAP is about. It's about being able to go to a place, do something, receive your POAP, and then just like we were talking about with what WWE wants to do, how they want to give extra content to the people that hold the POAP, or extra like privileges or perks. Being able to go see extra screenings or being able to go to special events because you actually use their service and you get their POAP for watching movies in their theater. Yeah, pretty lit.
I would say if anybody in our community here, because we got like almost 1,200 people listening in right now, if they got any great ideas, drop it in the chat while we're having this discussion, because it'd be great to go back and see if there's a kind of a continuum of similar things. So, I mean, I think if people are listening right now, and there's a lot that are, I'd be curious their ideas.
Yeah, a little bit later, we have another sort of use case, and it's sort of in the same vein, but we'll actually talk about it in a moment. I want to move on to the next part. So last week, we actually talked about the Motley Fool and how they were describing POAPs in an article that they were writing. Well, now they've actually gone ahead and given out their first POAP themselves. If you were subscribed to the Motley Fool Epic Bundle service during March, then you would have received their first POAP. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat really quick for everybody. Here you go. So now we're even seeing these publications. They want to come out and they want to give you a POAP for just subscribing to their service. And I wonder what kind of things that they're going to allow the people with this POAP to be able to do.
That's really cool. I didn't hear about this, actually. That's awesome. I guess I better not miss any more community calls.
And then this is what I was talking about, Dr. Malachi, this one right here. So there is this service. It's called Coinvise. And from what I understand of it, looking at it, it's basically a place that you can go to and you can easily make a new cryptocurrency. They have now integrated a feature where you can actually gate your airdrop to people that own certain POAPs. So now you're able to say, oh, okay, for the people that are involved with my coin or with my stuff, well, I guess it would be a coin in this case, I will only give certain coins to people that own this airdrop. So say, like, I started the POAP Community Call coin. I could say only people that arrive to these shows and have POAPs from past shows are able to be eligible for this airdrop, for example. And it's just these little things that everybody's trying to really... They're trying to find ways to use POAP, and things that we're seeing again and again is using them to be able to gatekeep certain things. Like in Nifty Chat, I believe you're able to... you're only allowed to enter certain conversations if you have a POAP. Or
yeah, looking at Nifty Chat, that's a super cool integration that they're working on. Yeah,
and you know, just other things that people it's POAP is a thing that it's so cool that people really want to use it. That's all I can really say. It's so cool. I'm just like the biggest fanboy of POAP, so I'm just really nerding out right now. But it's so cool to see people using POAP.
So maybe this is if POAP ever goes public as a company, I'd like to buy stock beforehand. I don't know how that works in a decentralized world, but I'm telling you, I believe in it like you're saying it right now. Like, absolutely. This is part of the Web3 future. So yeah, I'm loving this.
It's one of those things where I feel like even if you have gripes about Web3 and how crypto works and how NFTs are in the state of NFTs, POAP is something that you can point to and be like, look, this isn't some rug pull. This isn't some guy trying to make as much money as he possibly can. It's just, hey, here's a little digital badge that showed you did something. And POAP is doing a great job of trying to get people integrated in with it.
I think I might have mentioned this last time, but it's so cool that you were mentioning like companies like Fox or WWE and the National Day of Prayer and stuff like that. Like people, it's becoming more and more ubiquitous. One of my favorite words, where it's just a thing that you use and you don't really, people won't know how it works. They'll just use an app and they'll be like, here, I can prove I was there. Here, look, I was there. Like, it's just becoming more and more realistic, and it's really cool to have seen POAP evolve over time. It's really cool. It's happening, you guys. It's happening.
It's happening, right?
Are you moving your hands up and down like the like that?
Ron Paul.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
I'm waving my hands all over the place. So you guys can't see me.
At least you're not slapping anybody, because that's not good right now.
Right.
So.
Oh no, brother.
Hey, this show's slapping. Hey, Jen. You
just came to mind. Or go ahead, Mojo.
You should go ahead first, Colfax, because we're going to shift into the next topic. If this is,
cool, yeah, I was gonna say. I remember we did the Slido a few times back in the days when I was at these calls regularly. Do we have the Slido up tonight?
Yes, I have one question from before. I'm allowing people to get questions in right now. I will actually go ahead and repost that so people can take another look at it, especially since we have a lot more people in here now. I'll just describe this one more time really fast. This is our Slido. It's where you can go, you can ask us questions, you can vote on ones that you think are good questions, and we will try our best to talk about them. But I do want to get to the Slido question I had pre-done, but Jen, really quick, you had wrote this down as a topic and put your name next to it. But I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but the Estee Lauder POAP distribution in Decentraland. You seem excited about it. Tell me about it.
I did. Well, Estee Lauder is a huge makeup company. I mean, massive. So if you're into makeup, mostly, if you're a girl, you have heard of Estee Lauder. So the fact that Estee Lauder has picked up POAP, has entered the metaverse, has held a fashion week party in Decentraland, and then used a POAP as a way to have people claim a wearable in Decentraland is just amazing. So Estee Lauder sent out a press release regarding their participation in the Metaverse Fashion Week, where they dropped a POAP, and it was picked up by Yahoo Finance in multiple languages and 10 plus other outlets. They talked about POAP itself in this press release. And the story was also mentioned in Lifestyle Asia. And Estee Lauder is a massive brand over in Asia. So I'm going to drop the article, one of the articles right here. And
that's incredible.
I'm going to copy the POAP, which I have, so you guys can look upon it.
Thanks for highlighting, Jen.
Definitely. I mean, this is like Gucci doing the Gucci. Oh, I can't do it for another 30 seconds. This is like Gucci coming into the NFT space and partnering with the 10K crowd, right? And being like, hey, if you're a part of Bored Apes Yacht Club or Cryptodes or World of Women, and being like, hey, we will put Gucci clothes on your PFP. This is that same level, but for POAP. And so, like, this brings a level of legitimacy to POAP that I think needs to be, like, recognized. And it's really, really cool. So when I was scanning through the our little newsletter, and I'm like, blah, 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 Estee Lauder, what? Holy cow. I'm like, Sports Pro is really cool, but blah, 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 sports ball, whatever. What got me really pumped and excited is makeup, because y'all should see my desk. I do the live show for POAPathon every week, and literally my desk gets transformed by a literal pile of makeup every week when I prepare for that show, and then everything gets shoveled off into a bag. So yeah, girl take for the week, most exciting thing for me from POAP was Estee Lauder.
Well, you brought up the connection to the metaverse, because NFT and metaverse have some different differentiators, but it'll eventually be what your avatar, what your metaverse character is wearing or has.
Wearables.
Which will be, and I think people don't, wearables, digital wearables. And I think people aren't there yet quite that, but it's going to get there fast. So anyway.
Can I wear it in real life too?
Absolutely.
Can
Say
I
that
get?
again?
That's true.
I said, can I wear it in real life too? Can I have IRL NFT clothing?
So if you partner with Ultrasound Merch, we are bridging the gap between Decentraland wearables and IRL wearables, where you would be able to have like your Bankless or Bankless DAO shirt in Decentraland as well as in IRL. So you'll be able to have the same t-shirt in both worlds.
You mean to tell me that this Get POAP shirt I'm wearing right now, I can physically wear it and wear it in Decentraland? If I have
Only if you partner with Ultrasound Merch. I mean,
Colfax, listen.
1-800 Ultrasound Merch. I'll be right back.
Got it.
Ultrasoundmerch.com.
Amazing. I'm gonna look into that. That's super cool.
I am a co-owner, so if you guys be like, hey, I heard this, they're gonna be like, sorry, what? And they're gonna be like, damn it, Jenny.
Tell us next time before you do that. Tell us next time.
Exactly.
So just a little funny story. So whenever I was in ETH Denver, I had my Tennessee Titans beanie hat that they had given out during a game. And I love that hat to death, and I lost it. And I was telling people, if you find it, I'll gladly give you like a POAP for finding it or whatever. But I'm thinking like, man, what what if I like what if that hat was an NFT hat and like whoever owned it just happened to have like Mr. Mojo's Tennessee Titans hat NFT or whatever, you know? Or like what if you just had an article of clothing and you NFTified it and you passed it around and you're like, oh, my shirt or my hat or whatever is with this person right now, and then later on you look at it and you're like, oh, they traded it to this person now, and you just can like watch the journey of your piece of clothing, or even going back to sports or music. Like, what if somebody autographed something and that like autograph item is an NFT, and when somebody purchases the NFT, you have to like also give them that signed autograph thing.
Okay, so I jumped into a Twitter space where they were actually talking about like baseball cards as NFTs, and basically it was the V. I don't want to say the name of the company wrong, but the V something or others. Anyway, I have a horrible time with names, y'all. I have to have it written down in front of me, or I will say it wrong. Like,
me too.
Dyslexia in names. But basically what you do is you send them the autographed item or the collectible, and it goes into this temperature controlled vault. They have like they have two, one over in like the European area and one in the United States. And it goes into this secured, temperature controlled, fireproof, blast proof, apocalyptic style vault. But then they take a picture of it and they put it on the blockchain. And so when that NFT gets transferred to a new owner, you don't have to worry about sending that baseball card or autographed item to a new owner. Or say that item is hanging on the wall of a museum. You've loaned it to someone at a museum. You're allowing them to showcase it to. You don't have to worry about transfer of ownership because of provenance and all of this technical artsy fartsy stuff. All you have to do is transfer it over the blockchain through an NFT. And so it removes a layer of hoity-toity lawyers that we've had to deal with in the previous age. And so NFTs are making trading collectibles so much easier. You also know Go ahead.
I'll take care of someone's Tesla or Beamer.
Yeah.
It'll be safe, it'll be secure. Nothing will happen to it, I promise.
Pristine
Trust
condition.
me. Yes.
You'll get it back better than when you gave it. Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's me nerding out about collectibles, physical NFTs tied to blockchain NFTs tied to blah, blah, blah. Again, it's not like I own a merch company or anything.
JENetics, we're going to be great friends. I'm just going to tell you right now. Yeah.
All right, so we're about halfway through the show. I want to go ahead and dig into the one Slido question that I had before the show. And that is going to be from a person named Whiskey. They ask, is there a way to differentiate if the holder of a POAP is the actual mentor or not? And I think the answer, at least when it comes to POAP Gallery, I think the answer is no. I'm pretty sure as long as you just type in the address, it'll go to that address no matter who's doing it. I know, for example, I've manually distributed POAPs to other addresses that are not mine. Now, when it comes to migrating over, I would assume there's a way to see the original minter, and then if they happen to sell it, it would show who's the owner of it now. I don't know if it's like a Nifty Inc. where it shows the minter and then it shows who actually owns it. Does anybody actually really know the migration side of things?
So on the ownership side, I don't think it's displayed in POAP Gallery, but the beauty of blockchain is that you can see the transactions. It's all totally transparent. So depending on what tool you use, you could definitely see if a POAP has been transferred.
Right.
That's actually what I wanted to say is, yeah, just check the blockchain. But I have sent a POAP from my wallet because I was like, that's an ugly POAP. I'm getting rid of this. Sent it to another address, and it did show up on POAP Gallery. You know what? I'll confirm that before I say too much. I want to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw it in POAP Gallery on this other address. Let me confirm that.
Are you able to send POAPs from your POAP gallery to someone else's POAP gallery, like without migrating? I feel like
I know
that's
you can
possible.
send a POAP. You have to import it, and you have to import it to MetaMask Mobile and using the contract address from POAP, and the number of your POAP is the Mint ID, and then you can send it wherever. On XDAI, you don't have to move it. I guess it's called Gnosis now, but you don't have to migrate at all.
Yeah, I think this was a while ago. It was this process described to like technically burn a POAP. You send it to like its null address or something, and like it technically doesn't burn it, but it won't be visible for anybody anymore. I think that's what I was told. I don't even know if I was supposed to say that out loud, being honest with you. I'm sorry if that was secret.
I had this POAP that I claimed, and I don't even know why I did, but its date was set to 2023, so it always appeared at the top of my wallet, and it was just like low quality, and I couldn't get rid of it. I couldn't figure out how to do it for a while. And finally, I figured it out. Yeah, but I just sent it to another wallet. I could not send it to the black hole like 00 address. It wouldn't let me.
Everybody just needs to tweet out their the most hated POAP and tag the founder in it.
That's right.
Mask DAO. Whoever made that Mask DAO POAP, I'm sorry. Hopefully you're doing better by now. Shout out. What's up?
So, Hanny, I saw that you unmuted a few times. Were you trying to find a way to butt in and give us some insight? Sorry, brother. Don't mean to cut you off at any time.
No problem. I just don't like butting in. No, I was just curious. It sounded like the question was about who minted or who created the original POAP in general. As you guys sounded like you're talking about transfers, unless I misunderstood the question.
Oh no, that's just kind of where it went. It's all good. Yeah, it's just kind of where the conversation went. But all right, everyone.
Yeah, I didn't really have any input beyond that.
So we have some major alpha that we're about to drop on your foreheads right now, and Colfax is so excited to tell you about it. So please, Colfax, tell us all about your baby. Get POAP coming soon.
Yes.
Literally, there is no trademark at the end of this. It's actually coming soon. Please tell us about it.
Next week. So I have been working on Get POAP for a while now. And I'm very excited that we're going to be launching next week. And so for those not familiar, Get POAP has POAP in the name, of course. And what we're doing is we're actually using POAPs to represent an award like contributions. So kind of like professional contributions. And we're bringing those contributions on chain by awarding POAPs. And the way that looks right now is we're integrating POAP minting into GitHub, which is a common tool used by software developers to write code and collaborate. And so you can think of Get POAP if you use like Google Docs. Google Docs, it's like Google Docs, but for code. And so we have all the history of all these different open source projects. And that's sort of the inspiration for the idea for me, was working on open source software and wanting a way to recognize my community contributors without needing like it to be like monetary based or like making all the swag or anything. I was like, let's create some POAPs and let's send them out. And so what we're doing is we're building this platform. It's at getpoap.io, and we are going to allow you to connect your GitHub account, which will tell you what POAPs you're eligible to claim based on what software projects you've contributed to. And you'll be able to actually claim your POAPs. And then we also built a nice sort of profile view, which we haven't fully released to the public yet, but we're going to maybe be leaking a few designs early next week, where you can actually take any of your existing POAP collection and any of your Git POAPs and sort of configure a little profile view that tells a story about what you've been up to. So super excited to launch the platform. We're going live officially on April 7th. That is a week from tomorrow. And you can keep an eye on what we're doing. We're at GitPOAP on Twitter. We also have a Discord server, which I'll tell you why you should join in a minute. That's at getpoap.io/Discord. I don't know if I'll be able to post it I'll post some links in a second. But yeah, so that's GitPOAP. I have a couple other fun things to share but I've been talking a lot. So Mojo, I guess, what makes you excited about POAP?
Well, first, I just want to say to everybody listening, any links that get posted, they go into the Community Calls channel. So don't miss out on this amazing stuff because you didn't know where to click a link. But my thoughts on Get POAP, honestly, dude, game changer. I think I've told you a few times now in private. It's like, oh man, how great would this have been when I had to write my resume whenever I was going to my boot camp? Oh man, we spent too long trying to be taught how to write a resume and everything. It's like, man, now I can just be like, okay, I have this POAP, I have this POAP, I have this POAP. Do you like these projects that I worked on? Yes? Well, I'm your guy. Or, oh, you really dislike those projects? Well, I don't want to be on your team anyway or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's so impressive the amount of work that you were able to do and the things that you're able to accomplish here, and you're finally able to release it. Like, just mentally, how does that feel knowing that all this work has culminated into something that you can be like, this is my thing, this is my product for you, you're gonna love it, and you're gonna use it all the time. Like, how does it feel to have something like that?
Super exciting. Honestly, the whole motivation behind Get POAP and our one core company punter right now is always adding value to the ecosystem more than like we would ever extract. And our goal, like the whole inspiration of building Get POAP, was to support open source software and communities. And I could see there's a lot of different, I saw in the chat, launch party call is actually gonna be on April 9th. The launch is on April 7th, but I'll post a little bit more details about that in a minute. Thanks for posting that. Yeah, the whole idea is like, once we have an on-chain record of who's contributing to which projects, we can do lots of things. So like if we wanted to fund a project, for example, we know exactly who we need to fund, who we need to send money to. And like Mr. Mojo is saying, like you now have like an instant verified resume that shows you all of your contributions. So it just excites me how much value we can add to the ecosystem by using POAP in this way. And since we're talking about POAPs, I'm going to actually show you guys a couple of the designs for our launch cohort. So as I mentioned, we're launching with a number of open source projects central to the Ethereum ecosystem. And one of them is called Ethereum JS. Let me copy this and drop it in the thing. Dr. Malachi, thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys. I got a jet. I can't wait to catch up on all this. This excites me. So you guys are awesome. Everyone who's listening in tonight's awesome. See you guys soon.
Yeah, man.
Thanks so much for being here.
So this is the Ethereum JS 2021 contributor. So anybody who had one pull request, which is really a code contribution to the Ethereum JS project in 2021, is going to get this POAP. And I'll show you guys a few more designs.
It's a fire POAP right there. I love the design of that.
I want it. Unfortunately, I haven't contributed to Ethereum JS. There's no backdoor for me to get all these POAPs. I'm actually really bummed.
You just right-click and save. Don't you know that?
Gosh.
I did the
I'm
opposite.
calling the police right now.
Right-click and upload.
Calling the police.
Actually, though, to be honest, there is a way to earn all these POAPs. You can contribute to the open source projects.
Exactly. It won't necessarily be this one, but...
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to drop another one. This is a really cool project run by awesome people called Death Developer Ethereum, and they have a toolkit called Earl, and you can see like the
so sick.
The Ethereum logo is like your teabag in there. It's like, I think this one's a pretty cool one too.
That's so cool.
Also the Steam, that's really cool.
Right? It's just so cool. There is a way you can earn all these POAPs. I guess you can't earn the previous contributor ones, but all the 2022 and going forward ones, you can contribute to projects. And a lot of times, even if you don't have a software background, you can learn some basic Git commands and you can like update documentation, like either fix a typo or contribute something that that is not as clear or something like that. And so there is a way to earn all these. And another thing I just want to talk about real quick in terms of like sort of distribution techniques that aren't farmable. One beauty of what we're doing is that we're only giving out POAPs to code contributions that are actually merged into a project. And so there's no point in there's no way that anybody will get a POAP that didn't do a meaningful contribution. And there's like, what we want to do is we want to incentivize people to actually make meaningful contributions to different projects. So we are excited that this is going to be a nice distribution mechanism for recognizing contributions.
I think that's probably one of the things I'm most excited for here is the harnessing of farm power for good, which I think is overlooked when you think about the original possibilities of Git POAP.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, if you want to farm POAPs, just learn how to write some code and contribute to projects, and you can have as many as you want.
I want to mention that I finally got myself to sit down and learn GitHub from like a command line interface to push stuff to my own repo. So yeah, it took Git POAP to make me do that. So it's an awesome project.
I wonder how much extra traffic GitHub is going to get because of Git POAP, just for people going in and trying to add contributions to Git POAPs.
I just want to say that I bet that all the documentation for all this stuff and like guides to install stuff and like it's about to get so good. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope so too. Go ahead, Mojo.
I wonder what low-hanging fruit's going to get taken away from me now.
Hey, you just got to up your software skills and take sort of the next layer of contributions.
Yeah, I got to get the middle layer fruit. But Logic Beach, you're hype just as anybody about this, and you actually were planning some promotional stuff for Git POAP's launch. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So Colfax and I have been working on this.
Yeah, tell us about the party.
Oh yeah, you know what? I typed this whole thing out. Let me just hit enter. Okay, so on April 9th at 12 p.m. EST, we are hosting a POAP.art paint party, and if you don't know what that is yet, it's the coolest thing. So there's going to be a set of entry POAPs, which you would have earned in the past for eStaker or POAP or other, I can't remember, you mentioned another one. Anyways, these entry POAPs are going to act like tickets to let you into this room where you can place a pixel. 1 pixel every 5 seconds or so, depending on how many POAPs you have. If you have multiple, if you have multiple of the different POAPs that you need to get in, you actually have less cooldown time, so you can place pixels faster. Or you can delegate some of your POAPs to your friends that maybe didn't get one of these POAPs in the past. So if they want to play, and you have good friends that aren't going to put dumb stuff on there. You guys want to make art and everything, so delegate your extra POAPs to your friends. Yeah, this is going to be super exciting. I'm currently working to coordinate some awesome art pieces. I have been working on the centerpiece for Git POAP so far. Whenever I've organized or coordinated some of these POAP parties in the past, I always noticed that no one really wants to talk about it until the day before, and then tons of people just hammer in ready to go. Come on, let's coordinate. So if you guys are interested, please head over to the Git POAP Discord and scroll down a little bit on the left, and you can see the different guilds. Find a guild to join, and I actually haven't talked to Colfax about this yet, but is it possible that if other groups want to start a guild, can we do that too? For example, my friends over at Rocket Pool.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. If you guys want to start a new guild, talk to Logic Beach. He'll set you up with a channel. The current guilds are actually based on the open source projects that we are issuing POAPs to in our initial launch. So feel free to join them too. They're going to be coordinating some awesome art over the next week. Logic Beach was talking about what POAPs make you eligible to be able to paint faster. Well, as a matter of fact, we have a collection of POAPs. If you've ever met Git POAP at an event like ETH Denver or things like that, those will make you eligible. All of the Git POAPs that we're going to be launching with in our launch, so based on all the software contributions people have been doing, those are also going to make you eligible. And we are going to also have one for the call, so just in case you didn't have a chance to meet us in person or anything, you'll also be able to get that POAP so you can paint, but it might take a few seconds cooldown in between pixels.
I just wanted to mention, if you guys want to put some guilds together, don't try to DM me, just message I think it's, hold on, I'm gonna get the name. It's the Painting Party under Git POAP launch. It's the Painting Party channel. Just at me there, and we can work on getting something set up. It's gonna be a good time. Let's coordinate. Let's do some really cool stuff. Oh, also, I'm every now and then I post like an updated sort of what the guild's plans are, and so you can like track in real like as I post the what the guilds are planning, right? So you can get a good idea of like what the art that's going to be put on this canvas will be. Look forward to seeing everyone there.
Amazing. I'm excited too. So thanks so much for helping coordinate Logic Beach.
Yeah, it's one of my hats, and it's one of my favorite ones to wear. So I appreciate you reaching out to me and asking me to do it.
Oh yeah, of course. Before I pass it back to you, Mojo, to go to the next topic, I just wanted to mention one more thing that was on my mind. So I'm just a community member like everybody else here, and I've been around POAP for a while. I love them. I'm clearly building a project that's based on POAP. But I was thinking about what's the best way to I guess like interact with and engage with the curation body, and sort of we're going to be issuing a whole lot of POAPs, and I wanted to be proactive in letting them know like our distribution strategy and like how many POAPs we're going to be minting and how many different drops we're going to be configuring. So I posted a post in the discourse here. I can post a link to it here. I don't know. It seems to have gotten like relatively good feedback, and people seem to be happy that I did it. So I don't know if it's necessarily best practice, but I just wanted to share my thought process in launching a platform that's going to be minting and creating a ton of POAP drops. Sort of sharing my strategy up in advance and seeking feedback. And so far they seem to be good with my strategy. But I just want to share that if anybody else is thinking about doing big drops like this, like Dr. Malachi was saying, maybe even engaging the curation body on the forum could be a good idea.
We really appreciated the really detailed post and the intro that you posted on Discourse. And I think for anyone else interested in Get POAP, it's just something that was really beneficial for the entire POAP community. So really, thank you for putting that together, making us aware, making the community aware. It really was a great thing.
Of course. Thanks, Frankie.
But all right,
cool.
everyone.
Well, I'll pass off to Mr. Mojo again. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So now it's time for pretty much the last segment that we're going to have on the show. It's time for Defi Dude's POAP Spotlight, one of my favorite segments on this show. All right, man, come on up. Tell us, what do you have to show this week?
Hey. Hi, everyone. Yep, every week I come and get some cool POAPs to show. So I've got a few this week to share. Can't screen share, so I usually post the pictures in the community calls channel. The first one I thought was kind of cool just because it's another Decentraland event. It is the MetaZoo International MVFW for the week 4 participants. So I only spent a few minutes looking into it. I actually logged into Decentraland, explored the area. And yeah, I just want to spotlight it because I checked it out and I love the area. It's a cool place. So if they do another week, maybe you can go and listen to the live music, DJ, get your POAP at the little machine, and it actually kind of looked like a zoo. So yeah, I just thought it was fun. Wanted to spotlight it. No specific reason, I guess. The others, I have 4 more, and they're all surrounding NFT LA. So if you don't know, there was a huge NFT conference, I guess, happening in LA. And yeah, so I just have a few from there that I thought were cool. Some cool ideas like music trivia, of course. I'm always a fan of, rewarding in real life events like this, especially like trivia and stuff. It's definitely worth a POAP. And it's cool they themed it. Like you got the 60s and it's like more disco or, kind of like hippie style. Then the 90s, you have like actual people from the 90s all in there. So, relevant to the POAPs. They had like, I'm pretty sure 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't know how many exactly. But yeah, good amount of mints. Definitely seemed like it was a good time. Another one I wanted to highlight, and I will point some things out. So there's only one mint. And they actually, with the design, it's like they didn't take into consideration, I guess, the circle, that it's a circle. So I don't want to necessarily highlight it for good design, even though it still looks nice. It's not bad. But I just thought it was funny because, we've talked about in the past something like this. Like I went to blank and all I got was this lousy POAP, or I did blank and all I got was this lousy POAP. And we're all here because we love POAP. So obviously, depending on language, it's not actually lousy. But it's funny just because like there's some situations, like for example, when we tried to buy the Constitution, I tried to buy the Constitution, but it failed. So all I got was this, lousy POAP. So I finally saw one in the wild. So I just thought that was funny. Wanted to highlight it for that reason. And then the last one was another NFT LA one. Just wanted to point it out. I think the design was nice. Just for meeting a team at NFT LA. Another thing that, again, has been mentioned a lot by me, especially for highlights, but just meeting people and getting a POAP. It's kind of blown up in the past months to receive a POAP just for meeting people. And I think that's really cool. So that's all from me for this week, other than the ones Colfax shared above for Git POAP and such. Of course, those are very cool as well.
Hey, I thought I'd jump in super quick since you're discussing NFTLA POAPs.
Hello, Oops.
So I'm currently at NFTLA. I just got a whole stack of physical POAPs from a printer. So I have about 1,000, maybe 1,100 physical NFTLA POAPs. If you are at the event or at a party or anything like that, please reach out. I'm usually walking around in a Pikachu onesie, and I would love to give you an NFTLA POAP if you're here.
Yo, what's up, Oops?
Yeah, I'm so excited to have these. I just got them. For the first day and a half, I did not have them. And I gotta be fair, going to events without POAPs is the craziest feeling. Having only ever gone to events with POAPs, I literally felt like I was Iron Man versus Tony Stark kind of concept. If I didn't have POAP, I had no idea what to do. I was just sitting in a corner as a normal person, attending the event, listening to talks. So confused on what I'm supposed to be doing, but with a physical POAP, which I have right now, I'm so excited to share. I can give these to everybody, and it's an amazing experience for you and for me and for all involved. So please come find me in my Pikachu onesie, or find Soggy Apple Pie or one of the other people I'm with, and we will give you one of these printed out physical POAPs with a QR code on the back, and you can claim it.
Oh,
That's
man.
That's it for me.
Can you go find my artwork and take a picture of your physical POAP in front of my art?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I'm not there, but my art is.
That's even cooler. Yeah, let's do that. I'll put one of the stickers next to it so we can associate the two.
That's cool.
So
I'm not sure if it's in a frame or what, but
yeah,
that's cool.
Sounds good. So I see someone 8 lines asking in the chat,
Yep.
what's a physical POAP? And so quickly to describe what a physical POAP is we've gone to a printer and had them print off the image the POAP would be on the front, but then on the back of each one is a unique QR code. And so I can give these to people one by one, and they'll be able to receive one unique claim code for a POAP. And so it's a civil protected way of distributing POAPs to people at a real life event. Obviously, there's a little bit of cost and preparation involved in getting this set up, but it's absolutely worth it. Game-changing experience. If you're ever going to one of these events, or even a non-crypto event, or whatever it is, you need these. It totally changes the dynamic of what you're doing at these events. You go from just being an attendee who's kind of walking around and confused to having this thing that you're on a mission to distribute and give to everybody, and it totally changes the way that you talk to people, the way that you network, the way that you meet friends. Game changer. Having this is my 6th or 7th event, I think, handing out POAPs. This is the first time where I ended up in a pickle, where the first day I didn't have any. It sucked. I don't know how to word it another way. It sucked. Going to an event and not having these to distribute, knowing the greener pasture that is over there. Total game changer. I totally recommend everybody set up their own physical, You Met Me POAP or event POAP, or look into the IYK chips, the NFC chips.
Those are cool.
And repeatedly load up your POAPs. I don't know. You can't find a bigger fanboy than me right now, because going to the events there is no, honestly, if you weren't going to give me a stack of POAPs to hand out at these events, I probably wouldn't go. It sounds kind of strange to say it, but it's night and day, the difference between going to this thing and being able to give everyone something, or going to this thing and just like being another attendee. Yeah, definitely check out the IYK. People really like the idea of it. I admit though that like when I walk around these events, there is a little bit of skepticism about like tapping this random chip that I have attached to my name tag and claiming something, and like, oh, are you going to steal my Bored Apes or whatever it is, right? So handing out the physical ones with the claim code on the back kind of solves that. Personally, I'd rather be handing out physicals than using the chip, but we have the physicals now, so it's no big deal. IYK chips are sick, though. Like, I'm really excited about the concept of going to something like NFTLA, having a macro POAP, like the NFTLA POAP that I just shared, but then every event, every day, every party, whatever, I could make my own like niche POAP, and then I could load it onto the IYK chip and go to it. So, like, for example, we just came back from a party. There was only about 20 people. It was very, very, like, niche. But outside of the NFT LA POAP, it would have been very cool to give those 20 people an event POAP. And I could have done that by loading those codes onto my IYK chip and having the physicals for the NFT LA. And that would have, like, double dipped, and those people could have received both. So I didn't get to do it because I just got my physical ones from the printer, but now I can. So tonight I'm going to a party and I'm going to give people this physical one. If I manage to get a design shipped and ready in time, I might load up the chip. We'll see. But this is something I'm going to play with more. I just wanted to make sure that you guys listening know that this is a thing. Like, the idea that you can load up an NFC chip repeatedly with new codes without having to get a new chip, game changing. You can have once you manage to figure out a way to get people comfortable with tapping their phone on this random chip and following the link it provides. But the opportunity to be able to just like reload this thing over and over and over, even if you're not at home, and productively give people POAPs for every event you attend, man, game changer. So I just want to make sure people know that exists.
Yeah, especially at ETH Denver, one of the things that was a highlight was all the physical POAPs I was able to receive, especially from the POAP team themselves. They all had a physical POAP, and I have all of them. I met so many people that gave me a physical POAP for their I met whoever. My first physical POAP was a I met Superfizz, so they're definitely really, really cool. And also the IYK technology, it's really, really neat. We ETHStaker, we plan to use that here soon. But all right, guys, we are about 2 minutes until the show was supposed to end, so I'm going to describe the process to get the POAP for listening to our show. So if you have met the criteria for listening to our show, which if I recall correctly, you listened to us for about 10 to 15 minutes, you did not mute us, deafen us, whatever you want to call it, then you can go into the POAP claim channel. You are going to type / that is the button that is next to the right shift, and it has a question mark over it, that / button, and you will type claim and hit enter. DGenBot should tell you that you claimed a POAP, and it should give you your link. You will just follow that link. You will put in your address and claim your POAP as normal. I do believe, Colfax, you need to end the event so that people can actually start doing that. So I don't know if you're able to jump on it now.
It's already valid. We're good to go.
It's already valid. Excellent. So
I claimed mine already.
So again, that is / claim. It is not ! claim. You will not get your POAP if you do that. And also, the message that DGenBot will send to you, only you are able to view it. So the code it gives you, do not give that out to anybody unless you want to lose your POAP. But as for the show tonight, I want to thank every host for coming out. Thank you so much for talking about new things in POAP, get POAP, how we're using POAPs at NFTLA. It's so cool, guys. But that's going to be it from me for the show. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mojo. I think Logic Beach has one very last announcement he wants to make, and then
sure.
we'll close things up.
Sure, before we
Hey,
totally close
it.
out,
I almost
go
forgot
ahead.
myself. Yeah, so I one of the other hats I wear is me and Brittany run Make the World a Better Place. We offer POAPs for our people completing our challenges, so I'll just go ahead and post this. Anyone who plants flowers this spring and takes a picture of them next month with a written timestamp that includes the date and the type of flower in the picture and DMs it to us on Twitter at MakeTheWorldA13 will earn that POAP that I painted last week. So yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Pause game logic. Did you just say you drew this?
Awesome.
Heck yeah, man. I love painting and drawing and all of it.
Yo, you did a really good job. This is impressive. I just wanted to make sure you know.
In-house
I really
asset
appreciate
creator.
that. I'm a real big fan of Ralph Steadman's art, and so it's had a huge effect on me. If you don't know who
What'd
Ralph
you make
Steadman
this in?
he's awesome.
Do you mind me asking? What'd you make this in?
Paper and watercolor.
Oh, so you literally took a picture of this, eh?
Yeah, scanner. I got a scanner for the first time in my life. I bought one over the summer, and I've been having a blast with
Damn.
it.
So you didn't make this digitally. You made this physically and then scanned it. That's hard.
Well,
that's impressive.
It's both. So right, I painted the three
Okay.
separate layers and then digitally combined them in Photoshop. But yes, thank you. I thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Slow clap. We appreciate you, bud. That's impressive.
Hell yeah.
All right, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Yep. Thanks for coming to the show, everyone. See you next week.
See
Thanks,
you, everyone.
everyone.